The old man felt his cart roll to a stop. The soldiers were searching the traffic. His personal slaves would protect him, but the cart driver gave him away. As the soldiers approached, he met them and informed them, "There is nothing proper about what you are doing, soldier, but do try to kill me properly." Marcus Tullius Cicero was born January 3, 106 BC. His father was a well-to-do member of the equestrian order, the Roman equivalent of a knight, with good connections in Rome. Cicero himself was a semi-invalid, so instead of entering public life, he became a scholar. In 75 BC, Cicero served as a quaestor, a judicial official in Sicily. His honesty and integrity in his dealings with the Sicilians caused them to ask Cicero to prosecute Gaius Varius, a governor of Sicily, who had badly plundered the people. Cicero prosecuted the case while Quintus Horatius Hortalus, the greatest orator of his time, defended. Cicero's unique style set him apart from Hortalus, and in the end, he won this case and the titles of greatest orator in Rome and greatest lawyer in Rome. Cicero was elected consul for the year 63 BC. During his year in office, he thwarted a conspiracy centered on assassinating him and overthrowing the Roman Republic, led by Lucius Catilina. For this achievement, he was given the title Pater Pateriae, or Father of the Fatherland. In 60 BC, Cicero rebuked an offer to join a select group of people interested in Roman reform. This group of men would be called the First Triumvirate. As the Republic fractured, a young brash noble named Julius Caesar began to feud with the hero general Pompey the Great. Cicero backed Pompey, as he was in defense of the Senate and Republic tradition. When Caesar crossed the Rubicon in 49 BC, Cicero fled Rome. After Julius Caesar was assassinated on the Ides of March, Cicero became a popular leader during the period of instability that followed. He had no respect for Mark Antony, who was scheming to take revenge upon Caesar's murderers. In exchange for amnesty for the assassins, he arranged for the Senate to agree not to declare Caesar to have been a tyrant, which allowed the Caesarians to have lawful support and keep Caesar's reforms and policies intact. Cicero and Antony then became the two leading men in Rome. Cicero is a spokesman for the Senate, and Antony is a consul, leader of the Caesarian faction, and unofficial executor of Caesar's public will. The two men were not on good terms, and as the time progressed, the attitudes towards one another became more hostile. When Octavian, Caesar's heir and adopted son, arrived in Italy, Cicero formulated a plan to use him as a political weapon against Antony. Unfortunately for Cicero, Octavian and Antony eventually became allies. Antony's price was the death of Cicero. On December 7, 43 BC, soldiers tracked down Cicero as he prepared to flee Italy, then beheaded him as well as cutting off his hand. These were nailed to the forum, and Antony's wife stabbed the tongue of Cicero multiple times in payback for the words he had spoken against her husband. There was no happy ending for Cicero. He was born into an era of chaos. While he was the best speaker in Rome, his political savvy was lacking, and in the end that caused his death. His legacy is a long one. He inspired the culture of the Renaissance, as well as the founding fathers of the United States and the revolutionaries of the French Revolution. But in his time, and even today, he is better known as the man who refused to join Julius Caesar, more than the man who did so much for reading and writing, as well as evolving Latin into a more adaptable language.